Hello everyone, I hope you're all well and that you've had a good start to 2024. I've been shooting once and did really badly. But there you go, we'll come on to that in a little bit. Right, today's video is slightly different. We've got questions and answers. A couple of reasons for that. Number one, I think it's always good to actually do one of these Q&A videos. Also, it's blooming freezing outside and I had a plan to do today and it was quite a long filming day and I just didn't feel up to it. It's just really cold. I had a long night shift and so I thought I'm going to take the easy option and I'm going to chat to you in the nice warm conservatory. So I apologise. However, I am aware that you like to have a little bit of shooting within the video. So here's a video of Mark Stevenson from Malden District Airgun Club on Sunday. Here we have the legend that is Mark.
Legend or legend?
Target is out there.
There you go. Yeah, has to come to an end.
I see it. No, I see it as it went back. It went over the top of the right side of it.
So Mark, you let yourself down, you let the sport down.
I let everyone down, Gary, as normal with that donut.
So, message to Mark. Never have a go at me on Facebook or you'll end up on YouTube. Right, okay, so questions and answers. You can always contact me at lifeatarange@gmail.com or on our Facebook. Please come and join us at Life at a Range. Our website is going to be up and running very, very soon. Right, so first question that I've been asked quite a lot is why have I dumped the green stock for my TX and gone back to the Frankenstock? And yes, that is what it is called. It is the Frankenstock. Now, for those of you who don't know this gun was originally developed, that's a very fancy way. This gun was cobbled together for an article that I did in Air Gunner magazine many, many years ago. And it was, can you essentially make an aftermarket stock for under 50 quid? If you go out and you look at Tilly's stocks or, you know, any of the top, you know, sort of Warren Edwards or any of the, you know, that ilk, they're going to charge you £500, £600, £700 for a stock. My LP TAC 2, that was, I think they're about 450. And on top of the cost of your rifle, that's a lot of money. So what did we do? Well, we got a piece of Kydex off eBay for about 8 quid and we formed it over a vitamin C bottle to make the neck. And we drilled a hole in it. We bought an old stock, I already had an old stock. Drilled a hole and we put it on. That cost about £7 or £8. We got a £20 aftermarket 3D printed butt pad from, I think it was Brian Sampson. The hamster was made out of a bit of 2x1 I had laying about in the shed, and these posts are just some M6 bolts, but these sleeves, they're made out of a broken umbrella that had a carbon tube on the middle. So I cut the tube up and we got some nice carbon posts. As we all know, I like weight on the front of the gun. This has got 4 strips of wheel weights. I think they're 18 grams each, I can't remember. But they're literally just taped on. And then we've got a Hug-It silencer, but that wasn't part of the deal. The stock itself, I soft bedded with 1.5 millimeter neoprene. That means we took the stock out. We covered the stock, we covered the action in like, I think I used, I can't remember what I used. I've got a horrible feeling I used, what's that stuff that babies use? You put it on the Sudocrem. I put some Sudocrem on the stock, on the action, put the stock in the action, and wherever the Sudocrem went onto the stock, that showed where it was touching, and that's where we put the neoprene. I'll see if I can find a picture. I might have it somewhere, and you know, we'll put it up if we can. But it took us about a day. It looks terrible, but it won me 2 national titles and a world title. And why have I gone back to this? Well, the LP, the TAC stock, the green stock I had, it's a great stock. I just don't think it fitted me. And the problem is, this sport is all about confidence. And I thought, well, do you know what? I'm going to go back to shooting the gun exactly the way that it was when I could actually shoot. So the only difference I have now with this gun and the way it used to be when I was okay at this sport is the scope. Before I had a Citron S3, brilliant scope, amazing glass, but I've currently got the Vortex Viper, but we'll come on to that in a little bit. But essentially it's about building confidence and going back to what I know. And this gun I know backwards. Internally it's gone from 22mm, which I was shooting, absolutely great, not a lot of recoil, but I've gone back to the way it had to be, the way that when I could shoot well. So it's standard internals, and that's pretty much it. So that is why I've gone back. Nothing against the green stock, it's just I had to go back and do what I used to do, and then we'll move on from there. So that is why the green machine is gone, and this is why Frankenstock is back, and this is what I'll be shooting for 2024 if I shoot spring. But again, we'll come on to that in a little bit. Okay, question number 2, what are my plans for 2024? My intention is obviously to still shoot the UK HFT. I'm currently shooting in the Southern Hunters. A couple of people said, am I going to shoot sticks? I'm going to do a little bit on sticks, but I'm not going to be shooting any of the nationals in sticks. A few people said, why don't I go back to PCP? Again, it's a good idea. PCP is certainly good for building confidence because you can actually, PCPs will always outshoot all of us. The only bad thing about a PCP is the squidgy bit behind the trigger. I've genuinely thought about PCP and I've genuinely thought about sticks because the stick group seems like a lot of fun. But I get the feel, I feel that I've got some unfinished business with recoiling. Used to be okay at it, sucked. I need to be okay with it before I move away. So I think 2024 it's still got to be boinging, and it will be with the TX because that's the gun I love. Okay, I had a question. How do I join a club? Now, if you live in Essex, you're very, very lucky. You've got clubs like Malden District, my club, Springfield. You know, there are plenty of other clubs in the area. But I've been told that further up north, it's getting harder and harder to be a member of the club. The best thing you can do is, and that's no denigration on the club, is some clubs might be full. They might have a maximum amount of people. We can only have 150 people on our insurance, 200 our insurance, you know, whatever. So you have to wait for space to come up. Best thing to do is most clubs have got open shoots, and be a nomad. The great thing about being a nomad is you aren't locked into shooting at just one club. You can say, right, okay, I've got 4 or 5 clubs in my area and I'll shoot that one this week, I'll shoot that one next week, and I'll shoot that one the week after. Most clubs will give a discounted rate if you're a member, so £5, as a Malden District is £10 for a non-member, £5 for a member. Malden, I think it's £120 a year to shoot. So you will make your money back, but they've only got one shoot a month. So all the other, you know, if you're only going to shoot once a month, it makes sense. But if you're going to just travel about and travel about, you don't want to be members of 3 or 4 different clubs. So be a nomad. And if you're looking to belong to something, you know, which is an important thing, become and join the UK HFT community. We've got some brilliant venues this year. We're going to Misfits, Furnace Mill. We're going to Bisley, home of shooting in the UK. We're going to Meon. We're going to Throckmorton. Obviously, we've got the Mad double header. And I know I'm forgetting, so it's Bisley, Meon. I'll put a list up here because memory, old, not very good. Southern Hunters, Midland Hunters. I think the Gauntlet series is firing up again. If you're up north, Rivington, the might that is Rivington is starting up again. I'm really looking forward to getting back there. And if you're in sunny Wales, Nelson. Used to be an FT club, they've now got an HFT section, and the guys at Nelson are a top bunch. I know most of them, and they're absolutely lovely. So there are clubs all over the country, but if you can't find one to be a member, be a nomad, but let them know that you're interested, and sooner or later a vacancy will become available. Okay, now this is quite an important one that comes up quite a bit recently. Am I unbiased? Um, am I unbiased as a vlogger, reviewer, whatever it is? Right, the reason I always wear my Air Arms hoodie is because I am an ambassador for Air Arms. I promote their products. I'm part of the Air Arms team. And the reason I became an ambassador, and the reason I was asked to be an ambassador and a member of the team, is because I bought my original TX. In fact, I've bought every TX that I've ever had from Air Arms. I got asked to come on board, I assume mainly because of the social media side, not because of my ability to shoot. And I'm always happy to promote them as a firm and their products because I believe in them. Most of my stuff that you see on the channel is mine. I'm not affiliated to a shop, although we are sponsored by Crawley, the surplus store in Crawley. And thank you so much, guys. They're absolutely brilliant. And we are going to be doing a video and going down there for a visit. There are certain channels who are connected to a shop and they promote things that I assume they want to sell. I don't do that. What I do is if I hear people talking about, like for instance, MTC's new Connect. I've got the old Connect and I've heard a lot of people saying, oh look, the new MTC Connect, the one with the Spirit Level on it's really, really good. So I'm going to try and get one for the channel. Occasionally we get manufacturers who lend me stuff and they say, any chance you can review it? And I usually play with it first, and if I like it, I'll put it in on the channel. You know, a perfect example of that is the BRK Ghost that I've been lent by Daystate and Brocock. Amazing little rifle, and that is going to be my stick gun for when I'm shooting sticks in 2024. Companies like PRS, Precision Rifle Shooting. Am I sponsored? Don't know what you're talking about. They've sent me some kit. And within the video, I will always say this has been sent to me by PRS or this has been sent to me by Air Arms or whatever. I'm never going to try and pass stuff off as being, you know, oh yeah, this is an amazing bit of it where I've got a sponsor who sent it to me and said, push this thing. That's just not what I do. And I hope that over the last couple of years, you will have watched my stuff and go, yeah, do you know what? Gary says everything warts and all. You know, if I make mistakes, they go in, as you know. We're in the conservatory. I can't really hide from it. And that is what we do. What is right for me might not be right for you. I can sit here and say the MTC King Cobra, which is on loan from MTC, or the Optisan EVX, which is my own personal scope. They're brilliant, they're great, they fit my eyes. Well, that's these particular scopes. And these are my particular eyes. They might not be right for you. So what we do within the videos is I give you the information, but you need to go and check stuff yourself. How do you choose a rifle? The best way to do it is join a club, because most people will be happy for you to try their guns. I was down at Malden the other day and the guy said, oh, you know, can I have a go with your TX? And he laid down. I said, right, try it prone, try it kneeling, try it standing. And he found that when he was standing and he cocked the rifle, it was absolutely fine. But when he laid down with it, because the Hunter carbine, which I've got, has got the shorter lever, he really, really struggled to cock it. And he wouldn't notice that if he'd have just gone and bought one. Luckily, there was somebody there with a full length TX, which has got that slightly longer cocking lever, and he found it much easier. But I think he actually went off and bought a 97, but that's his choice. So choosing a rifle and choosing a scope, the most important thing is try it before you buy it if you can. Get to a club, find people who've got these scopes, join the groups, and see what people are saying about them. Obviously, if you join a TX fan group, you're not going to get a completely unbiased opinion. But what you can do is you can ask questions. And chances are you'll find someone who's local who will be happy to meet up with you, and you can have a chat and have a look at their gun before you spend out the money. Same with scopes. Scopes, I would strongly recommend read the reviews. If you want a small, compact hunting scope, HFT scope, whatever, I think it's fairly easy. Just look at things like the Optisan CP or the Hawk HFT scope, Sidewinder HFT, MTC Connect, or whatever. You know, there's quite a few scopes out there. But again, not everything that works on my eyes will work on yours. You need to go and look through. This is why I'm actually, when I say with scopes, guns are pretty much of a muchness. Scopes can be funny. I've had scopes in the past where I've had two sitting, one to the right, one to the left. They're the same model, same scope, everything. That one worked with my eyes, that one didn't. Can't explain it. It's to do with the grinds. I think when you start getting up into like the £1,000, £2,000, £3,000 scopes, they're much more uniform. When you're talking like the lower end of the spectrum, it's slightly harder. But you don't need to spend tons and tons of money. Neil Wakelin, who's one of our country's top shooters, shoots with a £90 scope made by Rhino. Whereas a friend of mine, he's got a March that costs like £2,500 because that's what he needs. I used to shoot the Optisan CP. Love the CP, but I needed something with a little bit more parallax error because I'm trying to learn how to bob my head for range finding. So that's why I ended up with the Vortex. You've got to find a scope that works for the way that you want to shoot. But this is the other thing. Go to a shop. Don't buy online when it comes to scopes. You can buy online, but you're better off going to a shop. Go to a shop, get your scope, set it on 10 mag, because they do have a tendency to put it on 4 mag and then everything looks really clear. Stick it on 10 mag, find something that's 8 yards away, find something that's 45 yards away. Look at that, adjust the eye bell, and then look at everything around. Don't just look at the center, look at the edges, and just look at the clarity. Ask them, have you got 4 or 5? Let them bring 4 or 5 out, look through them all. Pick the one that suits your eyes. Not the best scope, the one that suits your eyes. And if the best one is the one that they've got on display, and chances are that will be the best one, say, I will have that one, please. And don't let them take it into the back and give you another one. Good little tip there. Okay, tank, compressor or pump? Question we get asked a lot. Now, obviously, I have a video where we looked at one of the cheap eBay compressors. And do you know what? That worked quite well, but the other day it died. It's had about 1.5 years worth of work. Yeah, it did what it did for 150 quid. I know lots of people have got the Hills. Is it the EC300? Some people have got the Nomad. These are the ones you just plug into your car and you charge up your gun. I think the Hills will do smaller bottles as well. It's an interesting question. I bought a new cheap Chinese one. I got one of these deals off of Amazon. And I filled up my mate's bottle and he said to me that he could smell oil in the air. I couldn't, but he's somebody I trust implicitly. He's a high-level diver. It's Alex Larkin. He's a high-level fireman. He's a high-level diver. He's somebody that I would trust implicitly. I would trust the man with my life. And if he says that he can smell oil in the air out of the compressor, then I trust that. So, even though I have the video up, and I think I've got to put an amendment on it, I'll have to think about doing that. I think with compressors, I think you need to pay a bit more and get one, maybe not an eBay special. I know plenty of people have used them and they do seem to have a good reputation and all of that, but I think you need to, make a decision. I mean, luckily it's not going in for breathing air, but if it's putting oil into your gun, that could be an issue. It could muck up the internals and stuff like that. So I would say a tank, get yourself a nice tank, fill it up. A 12 litre 300 bar tank you can get for about 250 quid. You can get them filled for about a tenner, and then you've always got pure, clean, breathable air. But if you don't have a dive centre anywhere near you, then get a quality compressor. Some people use pumps. If you're going to use a pump, you've got to use a moisture pack with it. Otherwise, you're just pumping water into your gun and it will rust from the inside. And a rusty pipe with 300 bar in it is also called a bomb. So I think the Hills and that, I think they all come with dry packs and stuff like that. But if you're going to buy one of these cheap ones you get off eBay that don't have a dry pack, you've just got to put an external dry pack on. Why do my scores fluctuate? Now, are you asking me why do my scores fluctuate or why do your scores fluctuate? Well, it's a good question, and I think it's something that you could really look into. I know why my scores fluctuate. I'm regularly, for HFT, I work night shifts. I'm a train driver. No booing, please. Not had a pay rise for 4 years, and yes, I know we get paid a lot of money. But no, I'm a train driver, and I work night shifts. So I'm often coming to a shoot off of a night shift, and I'm tired, dehydrated, fatigued. I also am fighting a bit of type 2 diabetes, which I've managed to turn around. For any of you who are diabetic, I was type 2 and I had 75 of my ABACLH1V, whatever it is. And essentially I've given up carbohydrates, no bread, no pasta, no chips, nothing like that. I'm thoroughly miserable. But my AB1H, whatever it is, has gone from 75 down to 43. So I'm now no longer diabetic, I'm pre-diabetic. So if any of you are type 2 diabetes, talk to your doctor about a low carb diet because it has really worked for me. But obviously diabetes and stuff like that can really affect your score because it can affect your eyes. Fatigue can affect your eyes because HFT and things like that is all about the ability to range find, and that bit, I mean the gun's just going to chuck a pellet in that direction, you know, that's fairly easy. It's the reading what's out there, the wind, the sun, the distance and things like that. That's what can screw with you. Neil Palmer, 2022 HFT World Champion, 2023 second place with his Day State Grand Prix. One of the best shooters in the country. He said to me, Gary, stop wearing your glasses when you shoot. Now, I walk around the course like this, and then when I shoot, I take my glasses off and I look through the scope, and then I put my glasses back on. And Neil said to me, the problem is you're permanently doing that and you are affecting your eyes because your eyes are going from looking at things in focus to out of focus and things like that. Neil also wears glasses, and he said that he was an average shooter and he stopped wearing glasses for whilst he was on the course. He doesn't range find, I don't think, by eye, you know, by looking like that, because, you know, when you're not wearing your glasses, you can't bloody see the target, let alone range find. He does everything through the scope, which is what I'm doing with the head bob. So he said, try a couple of shoots and don't wear your glasses. And that's something I'm going to do. You know, we'll come back and we'll talk about it. The other thing is, I think maybe the reason why your score, this is why I'm talking to the person who asked the question, your scores may fluctuate, is conditions. Is it a case that you don't shoot well in the wind? Is it a case that you don't shoot well on long courses or short courses? And that's why you need to start taking notes. Write down, take a notebook with you, missed target, 15 mil, 25 yards, missed target, standard, missed target, standard, missed target, high wind. And then you'll start to see a pattern. Plot those patterns, and then you can start, you know, if it's the case that you never ever miss 15 mils, you still got to practice your 15 mils, but you can spend less time on that. But if you miss every single supported shot, that's where you target your practice. So you need to start working on why your scores fluctuate. And the other thing is you've got to know your rules. The amount of times I've got people who say, oh yeah, it's a 15 mil, I shot at 30 yards. Why? They can only go out to 25. Oh, I didn't know. And it might be a case that when you shoot well, you're shooting a course that is sort of well within the rules, and other times you're shooting a course where you're on the extremities of the rules. You're shooting your 40-yard knee or stands where you can have two. You know, all your 15 mils are out of 25 or 13. Keep a note, and you need to start working. But also, you know, you've got to think about fatigue, medication. You know, are you eating a big sausage baguette before you go on the course and that's spiking your blood sugar? Look at what you eat before you go and shoot. A lot of these things will really affect your performance. Okay, how can I submit an idea for filming? Always happy to have them. Contact me at lifeattherange@gmail.com. As I said earlier, we're not affiliated really to a shop, so don't say, oh Gary, can you do a video on the XTI 50? Haven't got one. Can't get one. I could possibly find someone with one who'd let me do a little bit with it. So if there is something you specifically want, you can ask, but I'm not promising I can do it. But if it's a case of, yeah, Gary, I'm really bad with my kneelers, can you show me how to do X, Y, Z? Yeah, please let me know. Or if there's any challenges or anything like that, then please just let me know, and I'll either help if I can or if I can't. But yeah, we'll do our best. The other thing I get asked occasionally is, can you train me? Have you seen my scores? You really don't want me training you. No, that's not, as said earlier, I'm a train driver. My number one thing is work, family, and shooting is an aside. And to be honest with you, I love doing the videos. I like writing the articles and things like that. I just don't have time to put into helping somebody at the moment. I'm barely getting enough time to shoot, and when I shoot I just like to switch my brain off and go and have some fun with my mates. To be perfect, or, you know, when I say my mates, I'm talking about everybody. I'm happy to shoot with anyone, but it's, if I was going to do something like that, I'd want to do it properly, but I just don't have the time at the moment, and I'm really sorry about that. And if I said yes to one person, I'd have to say yes to everyone. So as a blanket, I say no. But however, if you're ever down at Malden District and I'm there, just have a word with the people signing on. I'll more than happily shoot with you if I can. Meet up. And is there any merch? I don't think we need merch. I don't think anyone's interested in Life at a Range merch. Meetup, yes. There is a possibility, well, I think it's almost a definite. We are going to have a Life at the Range get-together / HFT shoot and something else. I'm hoping in July 2024. We're aiming to have it maybe the week after the Malden double header for the UKA HFT, either on a Saturday or a Sunday. I'm not sure which. Please let me know either for an email or put it in the comments below. And what it will be is, it will be an HFT shoot, 30 shots, to the Malden course, the one that was done for the Nationals the week before. So if you've never shot a National and you want to shoot a national level course, this could be a really good opportunity for you. I'm not sure it costs yet. I will speak to Richard, but I'm hoping it's not going to be much more than about 10 or 15 quid. And then in the afternoon, I want to try and get some experts down, like Matthew Gleaves or Jason Lockett or some other people, so that we can put up some stations with some bench rest or maybe some bell target. We're going to have a 100-yard challenge out there if anyone wants to have a go. We'll set up a spring gun, and we'll set up a PCP, so you can come and have a go at some 100 yards and all of that. But yeah, we'll have prizes and things like that. But yes, so we are planning on a meetup. But let me know what you would like. If you wanted a Life at the Range day, tell me what you would like there, and we will see if we can make it done. Next question, why do you only cover HFT? It's a very valid point, that's what I shoot. I suppose for me it's easy. We are next year going to be doing bench rest with Jason Lockett. We are going to be doing some field target. I've just done a PRS event, practical rifle shooting, at Brook Valley, thanks to Premier Guns. And it was part of the Air Rifle League of Great Britain. That's shooting 25 metres out to 100 metres from targets from 10 mil out to 150 mil. I had the help of the ever sexy Ryan Charlton, who's a PRS champion but with big guns. And we had a lot of fun, and we shot a couple of videos and some little shorts, and they're going to be coming out on the shooting show. So nip over to there and like, share and subscribe with them, and you'll be able to watch their videos. Obviously we will put those videos up on Life at the Range Facebook page and on the website once it's fully up and running. But look at Premier Guns' Facebook site and Highland Outdoors and all of them, and they will all be pushing that. But yeah, so we've got a couple of videos shooting PRS. I'm going to try and have a go at a few other things as well. I'm going to try and have a go at some bell target. See if I can find a local bell target club to go and have a go. But yeah, again, it comes down to time. HFT is easy to do for me. I have access to the clubs. I have access to the kit. But no, I am well aware that not everybody is an HFT shooter, and we are going to do some other stuff. So my apologies to those. Okay. Biggest question I get asked: what should I buy for my first gun and scope? S400, Air Arms Ambassador. S400, it's a gun that I started with. It's a gun that I think most people started with. And I would say either an Optisan CP or an MTC Connect. I would probably pick up a second-hand one. Get yourself a chronograph, go and look at it, see what the shot count is like, stick it over the chronograph, see if it's consistent. It should be under 10 feet per second. They've been around for years, and they just do what they do. If you've got a bit more money to spend, if you can find something like an MPR, that's absolutely great. There are lots of great guns out there. You could go straight in and buy a second-hand Steyr. Don't be afraid of second-hand guns. Again, the beauty is go to a club and there's always people selling guns. But as your first thing, there's been this argument for years. Oh, you should shoot with a Springer first. All right, I am a Springer shooter. I have molybdenum disulfide running through my blood. Don't start with a Springer. If you want to be a competitive shooter, start with a PCP. With a PCP, the pellet is going to hit in the same place every time when you pull the trigger. Doesn't matter how hard you hold it. It doesn't sort of matter. Yeah, you've got to get your eye in the right position, but if you've got the scope parallaxed in, you know, if you've got 25 yards in your garden, parallax your scope at 25 yards. So even if your head's wobbling about, you should pretty much hit there. With a PCP, you are able to build your skill level. You can build your trigger control, you can learn the winds, you can do all the bits you need to do. And then you can buy a Springer and then add in the fact that it's going doing to it. But if you're starting off with something that goes doing like that, you've got to learn how to shoot that thing and then learn the wind and then learn all the other bits. Spring guns will shoot differently from the ground to the shoulder to off the peg to on the tree. PCP doesn't. So if you're going to shoot starting into it, get yourself a nice PCP, something like a 400, something like a Huntsman, something like a BSA Gold Star. It's a bit more expensive. There are lots of different guns out there. AR-20, a Hammerly, that's like a target rifle. You can pick that up second hand for like 300 quid, but they are a bugger to cock. But they're accurate. Heavy though. PCP will enable you to shoot well fast. I love spring guns. They're brilliant things. You know, they're my true passion, and I know lots of you are going to disagree with me, but most of the top shooters I know in the spring gun world started off with a PCP. And again, look, CP, I like the Optisan CP. I think for the money, they're really, really good. But with a PCP, it sort of, if you're going to buy a scope for a spring gun, make sure it's spring gun rated, because I know of a few scopes that get shaken apart. But a PCP, to a certain degree, it doesn't really matter. And that just brings on to our final bit. What do I want for 2024? I want to promote shooting. I want everybody to be happy. I want everybody to be kind. I want everyone to come along and shoot and be nice to each other. I want this sport that we all love to continue to grow and get people out of their houses and wandering around fields shooting tin chickens and enjoying themselves. That's all I want for 2024. I also want to meet some of you, more of you guys, and hopefully we'll get to see you all out on the course and and floating around. One other thing I definitely want for 2024 is I want to meet up again with Mick Garvey and do some extra videos. So if you've got any ideas that me and Mick could get up to, that I would really appreciate it, because I'm really looking forward to meeting up with my old mucker Mick and doing some stuff together. Well, that's about it. We're still warm, we're not out in the cold. I hope you've enjoyed today's video. I know it's a little bit different. We are coming up on 1 million views for the channel, which I think is absolutely amazing. So I think at some point we're going to do a clip show and a look back, but I think we might put that on the new B channel we've got. We've actually got a YouTube channel called Life at the Range. Come subscribe to that, and we're going to be putting up some like behind the scenes stuff and some extra stuff that doesn't go onto the main channel. Also, if there's anything specific you would like me to answer, like question, things like that, just Gary, how do you adjust the scope? How do you click a scope in or something like that? I can quickly do a quick video and bung it up on the B channel. So again, if I have time, and we can build a little resource there. So come and join us at Life at the Range on the B channel. I will put a link in the description below. But as ever, thank you all so much. Thank you for a great 2023. Let's do better in 2024. I'm hoping I'm not going to suck as much. In fact, I'm not. Positive mental attitude. I'm not going to suck in 2024. I'm going to go out and be the best shooter that I can be. And I hope that that will be the same for you. Just be the best you can be. Be kind to each other. Be kind to yourselves. Enjoy your shooting. And we'll see you all again on the range very, very soon. Ta-da.